Hey everybody, it's your girl Angelica, also known as Seed Sowing Sister, and I'm here as a representative for Popout Magazine with the beautiful Colony Reeves.
Hello.
Hello, beautiful. We was just sitting here chatting it up like we've been knowing each other for years. Years. But that's what happened when you born and raised in 813.
Okay.
And that's what happens. That's what happens. Many of you may know her from the hit Netflix show Selling Tampa. I know you remember that face, honey. I know y'all remember that face. I know they do. So hello, Colony. How are you,
I'm
beautiful?
good. Shout out to Tampa, 813.
813. Yes.
I'm so happy to be sitting here with you. You know, two women from the hometown doing big things. Like,
yes.
I love to see it. So thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So excited. So many of you may not know, but is it a surprise or should I tell them? Ignore. Okay, Casey said ignore him, but he's sitting right there. But anyway, okay, so we won't tell them what's coming up. We'll just let you guys find out. It'll be a big surprise for Tampa. So we can tell them about the magazine? Okay, let's talk about the magazine cover.
Let's get right into it.
Let's get into it. Okay, so you gracing the cover of Popout Magazine. Yay! So tell us about this opportunity and what it means to you.
Well, first of all, I support anybody from Tampa. So when you guys reached out and you said that all of you guys were from Tampa, I'm like, yeah, let me do this. Let me support. And then, of course, who's going to say no to being on the cover?
Right. Cover feature.
Yes. I'm happy to represent Pop Out for the month of April. So I think it's a blessing, and I'm super excited for the opportunity.
Okay, so tell us, you're born and raised in Tampa. Real estate.
Yes.
How did you get into real estate?
Whew, girl, I had to go through depression to get into real estate.
Wow.
Yes. So, I graduated from USF.
Okay.
And I really
shout out Bulls.
Shout out, go Bulls. Shout out to the Bulls. I really didn't know what I wanted to do. And so I just kind of started teaching and just trying to just figure out my route. So I thought teaching was going to work out for me. I used to teach little babies, pre-K. And after a year, I was like, okay, this is not for me. I love teachers. I take my hat off to teachers because that is literally a hero's job. And I don't think that they get compensated enough.
I agree.
So it wasn't for me. I went through a major bout of depression, just trying to figure out what's going to be my purpose. Like, who am I? I was in a relationship that was just not feeding me. It wasn't purposeful anymore. And I was at a crossroads in my life. And I remember going to my dad, both of my parents really, and I was crying. I was just crying every day at that time. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I want to be, who I want to be. Like, I need something. And so my dad randomly, he's kind of always dabbled into real estate. And he was just like, you know what? Like, take the real estate class. I'll pay for you to go to real estate school. Just focus on that, and let's just see what happens. He's like, we can kind of tag team it because he's an investor, so I can help him get properties. Right. That was kind of the strategy. So I was like, all right, look, I'm at rock bottom. So I call that my bet on myself moment because I'm like, all right, like my dad is paying for this, so I'm not gonna let him down. Let me just cut out all the noise, cut out everything, focus on real estate, and really make something because I didn't know where I was going.
Right.
Best decision I made.
Shout out to supportive parents, guys.
Yeah, shout out to my parents. Like, without them, I don't even know I don't even know if I would be here.
Listen, my son employed me. Listen, I'm sitting here
on That's what I really like about the dynamic between you guys. Like, I think that's beautiful. Like, being able to work with your family and having supportive family members. Like, I couldn't make it through life without my family. So, yeah.
Shout out to family.
Absolutely.
Oh,
family is everything.
It's everything. It truly, truly is.
Yeah.
Now, you passed the test. You betted on yourself.
Yep.
I love that you mentioned that you bet on yourself because I say that all the time. I bet on me. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, I will bet my last on me.
Absolutely.
And what does that mean to you? I know what it means for me, but share with the audience what betting on yourself means to you.
Betting on yourself means truly trusting yourself and your own process and really going at your pace and not focusing on what the next person is doing. Because in that bet on myself season, I found myself cutting that out because that's what I was doing before. And I'm like, I can't look at everybody else's race. That's for them. Like, I got to run my own race. And how can you lose if you're putting all your energy into one thing? It's positive energy. It's good energy. You're working hard. There is no way that you can fail. At all. There's no way you can fail. And of course, keeping God in the mix, you know, Amen. Asking him to give you signs. Like, I really relied on God in that moment. And just trusting the process, I think that goes hand in hand with betting on yourself, because it's moments where you really low. There's a lot of lows when you choose to bet on yourself, whether that's quitting a job or starting something new or getting out of a relationship. I feel like those are all betting on yourself moments because you don't really know what the future holds. But just trusting that process and trusting that you're making the right decision, because I teetered with that. Like, am I really doing the right thing? Is this really like what I'm supposed to be doing? Is this what God wants me to do? Like, and then it's scary when you putting all your money into it too. I put all my money into marketing, just education, extra education, just putting that all. So it can be scary, but the reward is so worth it.
It's so worth it. I love hearing the transformation. I know there's a journey and I know there's a process, but there's also a transformation. So now you've transformed. You're in a new industry. And you've invested all that you've had. Yep. Your parents, your family, your support system have all gone in with you, and now you're blossoming. You're working for Allure Realty, and then Selling Tampa opportunity came. What was that like?
Oh my God, girl! Selling Tampa was such a completely random blessing. Like,
oh, I love that. Random
was so
blessing.
Random, and it was literally it fell in our lap. I mean, I had been doing real estate for almost 3.5 years before I got to Allure Realty.
Okay.
So I was well into, and I would call myself a vet at that point. Like, I was, doing it full time by 3 years. Like, I was
it takes 3 years for a business to know if it's gonna do what it do. Yeah. So you was a vet.
I stood the test of time. So I was there, and I already kind of, had a decent following on social media. Like, people knew me as being a real estate agent in Tampa. And then I was at another brokerage. And then I met Sherelle, and I liked what she was doing. Right. I thought it was something unique in Tampa, something that was needed, an all-black brokerage.
Needed.
It was so needed. Representation was needed in this industry, and I was looking for more growth. So that's when I went over to Allure. And then, we were just kind of doing our thing, and we got the attention of the producers of Selling Sunset. And I remember watching Selling Sunset, and I was like, those girls are killing it. I'm like,
that was my show too. That was my show.
Right. I was like, I can do what they doing. Like, I was a fan of that show. Right. And so our opportunity came through social media. Like, they saw us, they liked what we were doing, and we actually went through interviews during the pandemic. So we never met the producers. I don't even think we met them or the creator until we watched the show for the first time, which was like maybe in 2021, a couple months before it premiered. Okay. So we met him via Zoom. So even when we filmed, we didn't meet him until we flew to LA. So all through 2020, we were doing our interviews virtually, and they just loved our energy. Like, they had never met us before, but they just loved what we had, what we brought to the table. Right. So they decided to, give us a show.
Okay, so I was instantly a fan. For me, I'm like you, 813, listen, yes, you support it, you get behind it, you jump on the bandwagon, you jump on the bus, whatever you got to do, I'm behind it because, again, we're growing. And a lot of people know Tampa now. Yes. Tom Brady did not make us. We appreciate his contribution.
We appreciate Tom.
We miss you. But at the same time, there's so many of us. Yeah. We get up every day. We put the metal to the pedal, put the pedal to the metal, and we go. And we go. And a lot of times people don't know our names. Right. Thank God for social media. Like you said, you had a built-in community that, when you stepped in this industry, you sort of, could market yourself and let
Right.
people know what you were doing. People knew what you were doing.
Absolutely.
So when Selling Tampa came along, it just expanded that opportunity and that growth for
It
you.
did,
And that
absolutely. Visibility,
Mhm.
absolutely. Visibility and representation.
Right.
I think that is when somebody asks me, what was the best thing about filming Selling Tampa?
Right.
Being able to represent Black women in this industry.
Come on.
That was it for me. I'm like, and I'm home. So it was perfect. Somebody recently, I did an interview, and the person who was interviewing me, she was like, before Selling Tampa, I didn't even know there was Black real estate agents. My mouth dropped. I was like,
and that's why you need a sister from your city to
Yes.
sit here and interview you.
yes. But I love that she said that because
And was
that's
honest
the impact.
and the transparency.
Right. That's the impact that we had. She's like, before then, I had never met a Black real estate agent. And then I turned on Selling Tampa, and that inspired me. She wants to get into real estate now. I get that compliment all the time. Like, you inspired me to do real estate, or just you inspired me to just step out and like do something different. Like, just seeing that representation that we can be in these spaces, that we belong here too, and we can like walk the walk, talk the talk with the best of them. Like,
Right.
I think TV needed to see that, and I'm happy that, God chose us to do it.
Right. And it seems like in a time where we no longer should hear first Black this,
Right.
oh, I didn't know Black that, we're still experiencing that. And we're still climbing that mountain and jumping over those hurdles.
Right.
But we're now doing it, with our shoulders pulled back and our
Yes.
heads held high
Yes,
and representing.
ma'am. Mhm.
And I couldn't be more proud of you and the entire cast.
Thank
I was
you.
inspired by you guys. I was proud, beyond proud of you guys. I remember just going down to Ybor just to drive past, just to have that experience.
Yes.
We wanted to know exactly where you guys were located. We was just like, let's get behind this, because I watched it 2 or 3 times. Because I wanted you guys to stay at number 1. I was rooting for you guys. So now you're on Netflix again for your sophomore debut.
I love that. Yes, ma'am.
On The Perfect Match. Tell us a little bit about The Perfect Match.
So The Perfect Match is a dating show where all of the fan favorites from different Netflix TV shows, whether it was from The Circle, Too Hot to Handle, 20-something, Sexy Beast. I represented Selling Tampa, me and Ann Sophie. They put us all together in this beautiful, beautiful country of Panama at this beautiful villa, and they see if we want to date each other.
Oh.
So it's almost like the superheroes of Netflix kind of come together.
Right.
Everybody's like fan favorites. They come together and they get to see how we interact with each other. So when they called me about it, I'm like, this is dope. Like, yes, I'm going to do this. Like, this is a great opportunity. So, and it's been a success. I think it's still in the top 10. It came out February 14th, Valentine's Day. So we're still in the top 10 right now.
Wow.
So it was a hit. It's
I'm
a
so
hit.
proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Okay, we're going to keep sliding, because ranked number 2 out of 100 Florida real estate agents on social media. Mm-hmm. Number 2 out of 100.
Yeah.
That's huge.
It was. When I seen that come through,
The recognition.
I was like, me?
Right. The recognition, the validation, the visibility, the credibility.
Yeah. I was so thrilled and honored and happy, and to be considered even in that lineup.
Right.
Like, because there's a lot of other great agents in that lineup who kill it every day. So to be number 2, I was like, okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
It feels good to be recognized. Like, definitely.
It does. Good. And March being the National Women's Month, where we celebrate each other, we celebrate our industries, we celebrate our roles and our titles. I think I know Black History is February, but I think Black women should also take over March. Because I believe that's the March Madness. We're seeing us do things in areas and industries that, again, I've never seen before.
Absolutely.
As a little girl, I remember you're looking for someone to look up to.
Mm-hmm.
Young girls today have so many of you guys to look up to. And I'm so thankful for that.
Me too.
I'm not trying to take away from all women. I'm just saying I really want to take the moment to recognize Black women doing their thing.
Yes.
I just want you guys to know we see you.
Absolutely.
We see you. We celebrate you. We honor you to the fullest. I just want them to know. And I'm saying that directly to you.
Thank you so much.
We need to give each other our flowers.
We do.
We do.
I'm loving the energy of the sisters supporting each other.
Right.
Like, because for a while, I think society just in general has made it to where it's supposed to be competition. And I'm so big on collaborating over competition. Like, I don't want to compete with my sister at all. Like,
at all.
We need to see how can we connect, how can we help each other, because we know at a time, and still to this day, we're not afforded certain opportunities. So if you win, we all win.
We all win.
We all win. If you look good, I look good. Right. So we need to continue to uplift each other, continue to work with each other, continue to just have that energy, because we do have the younger girls coming up. They looking at that. And so I'm just happy to even be kind of in that lineup of representation and, you know, inspiration and role models for anybody. I mean, I'm not perfect, but just sharing my journey and kind of where I started, where I came from, I'm happy to inspire at least one person.
Right. Yeah. And guys, I'm sitting here with her. I was blessed to be able to see the behind the scenes process for Popout Magazine with the photo shoot and everything else. And I'm talking inside and out, personality, spirit, characteristics. I mean, everything has just been 100% authentic, organic, and genuine.
You're so sweet.
And
Thank
so
you.
genuine.
And you too. You were hyping me up.
Oh, yeah, girl. I was your hype. Yeah, I was her hype man today.
Hype woman today. I was like, let me feel myself.
I was, and I loved it.
I needed that.
Yes, I loved it.
Yes.
I loved it. So before we close, we want to talk about Colony Reeves Group. Yes, let's talk about it, girl.
The Colony Reeves Group. So it's always been a goal of mine to kind of just expand myself in real estate. And so I want to differentiate the difference. So I'm still with Allure Realty. However, I do have a group called the Colony Reeves Group within Allure, which is I have about 3 agents who work under me. So they're getting my training, all of my knowledge, my systems. Yeah. So agents that I trust to kind of grow their business as well. Right. So, and the reason why I wanted to expand is because I started after Selling Tampa, and of course now Perfect Match, I started to get busy outside of real estate. I started to do public speaking engagements, social media
covers.
Collabs. I'm gracing covers of magazines now.
Right.
So, you know, I'm being pulled in like other directions, which I love. Like I love to just diversify myself.
Right.
But real estate is always going to be my base. Like this is like, I always say real estate saved me. Just, you know, I always say that.
And
like,
I say entrepreneurship saved me. As a teen mom,
yeah.
And I once high school dropout, went back to school, went to college for my degree. Entrepreneur, first generation college student at a 4-year university. First to send all 3 of my kids to graduate, my son to go to a university, you know, degree in communication. Like I'm sitting here just as my own history maker.
There you go.
You know,
your own story.
Yeah, my own story. So I feel you on that. And it's so exciting to see young Black men, women, boys, and girls doing their thing. And I get the opportunity to sit and interview with one that I admire, I look up to.
I'm honored.
And I'm so proud of you. And the fact that you get to pass down your knowledge to the younger generation and
that's
upcoming
what it's about. Yeah.
real estate agents who need your guidance, who need your mentoring. And
That's
you are unafraid to share that with them.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, knowledge is power. Like, that's one thing that nobody can take away from you is knowledge. So if I'm in a position, that's really you know how you have like your made it moment, and success is relative to anybody, right? Because I still have my own journey. I'm still not nowhere where I want to be.
You're
like
still
I've
a baby.
done so much.
We watched you turn 30 on the show. You're still a baby.
30. Yes, and I still have so much more to go. So much like in my career, so many goals I want to hit. But the moment I'm able to reach back and help somebody, like that's when I feel like, okay, you doing what you're supposed to be doing. Like that's like, okay, you made it to this level.
Right.
You gotta reach back. Like, and I appreciate the people in my life who reach back for me. Like I'll never forget those people.
Wow,
So
who reach back.
you gotta
for
reach back.
Me.
Yeah.
Wow. I love
Absolutely.
that. I love that. Well, shout out to Popout Magazine for
Yes,
allowing me
Popout.
to be able to interview this lovely, lovely, beautiful woman that's sitting on the right of me. So Casey Diggs, Hollywood said thank you. And thank you to the audience. I am Angelica, also known as Seed Sowing Sister. And again, I had the pleasure of sitting with the beautiful Colony Reeves. Thank you, my love.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
And I'm looking forward to the cover.
Yes, ma'am. Me too.
And I'm looking forward to our collaboration.
Should we talk about that?
Yeah, just briefly, guys. Okay, so you guys know I just dropped Running Tampa, and it's also derived from the Selling Tampa branded name.
Love
so
that.
shout out to Sherelle because she led that whole Selling Tampa through Allure Realty. Yes. But I was like, we need to talk about Running Tampa. So up next is Running Real Estate, okay? And Colony has agreed to lead this project, ladies. So shout out to all the realtors who've already joined and agreed to be a part of it because baby girl is heading it. You guys don't want to miss this. We talking cover shoot. We're talking book dropping this summer. We gonna drop it like it's a hot girl summer for real.
Like it's hot.
It's gonna drop it like it's hot. Running Real Estate, 813. So get ready and stay tuned.
I'm ready.
Do you have any words of inspiration for those who are looking?
I think betting on yourself. I can't say that enough.
Yes, I love that.
Bet on yourself. I always go back to that. Bet on yourself. You can never lose when you bet on yourself.
I think that's your chapter too. Bet on yourself.
Maybe so.
Maybe so. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
All right, guys, we out of here. And don't forget, always pop out.
I loved it.